Hi, I'm Yo Mary Cruz with FabTV, and joining me now is Jim Cummings. He is the voice of Winnie the Pooh and Tigger in Disney's Christopher Robin. That doesn't even do you justice. You've done so many animated voices.
Oh, well, you know, somebody has to do the heavy bouncing.
Well, you do it so well, so you
Thank you.
keep getting asked back, I guess.
Thank you.
Tell me, when you started doing the voice of these characters that have been around for so long,
Oh, sure.
what was that like?
Well, it was great. I was just honored as I could be. It's, you know, people ask me that a lot, but back in 1987, they actually hadn't been around for 20 plus years. They came out in the 60s where I was in the audience, and I'm glad they took time off because it gave me a chance to grow up and audition, and so that worked out well for me.
Now, is this something that you had been practicing ever since you were like a little kid, these
Well,
voices?
Yes and no. I mean, you know, I'd be sitting around and we'd be playing Monopoly, and I would say, I think I'm going to bounce on over to Park Place, you know, and do a ticket. And never once thinking that it would really come in handy years later.
Amazing how this business works, right?
Yes.
Now tell me just technically, how did you actually do both of these voices in the movie? Because they are so different from each other.
Well, I think it helps that they're so different because just ask that peacock. And, you know, I think it would be harder to do Pooh and Piglet because they're both sort of pipey voices like that. But I always do Pooh first. I used to, way back when, go back and forth when I had a conversation with each other. When they have a conversation, when I have a conversation. We're not schizophrenic, are we?
Not at all.
And we are, neither are we. So, no, but it just keeps it a little cleaner. So I do Pooh first. It's a little less wear and tear. And then I bounce in and do Tigger.
Do you have a favorite between the two?
I can't. You know,
You can't choose.
You know, I think I'm a little of both of them at this point. So.
Speaking of which, do you feel like you've learned something from either one of these characters that you've brought into your own life?
No. I mean, no, I'm just kidding. No, honestly, I think Pooh is sort of he's like a Zen presence, you know? You know, I always say that Tigger is kind of like the hurricane, and Pooh's the eye of the hurricane. So, you know, there are times when one must be both, or one of each, or you get the idea.
I do.
Okay.
Now, is there a lesson or a piece of Winnie the Pooh wisdom, a Poohism that you would like for people to take away with them?
Well, one of my favorites is that people say nothing is impossible, but I do nothing every day. So you can do whatever you want.
Now, do people ask you to do the voice of Winnie the
Never.
Pooh or Tigger for like their voicemail
Never.
or? Oh,
Never have
come
done
on.
it. So only all the time. You know, and I have to turn down a lot of things because if it's just innocuous, well, Joe can't come to the phone right now. That's okay. But when they have a few more interesting requests, I go, no.
That's where I draw the line.
Yeah, no. Pooh and Tigger they're like, you know, they're family members.
Yeah, you're not going to have them do
No, not on my
anything
watch.
that
No, indeed.
that they wouldn't really do, right?
Correct. That's right.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining us today.
I appreciate that. Thanks for inviting me out to play. And stay sweet as honey.
What was that?
Stay sweet as honey forever.
Oh, that is so sweet. Thank you. I love that
pleasure.
face. Thank
Oh,
you so
thank you.
much.